DJ, what was the best part of our childhood?
Probably kickball. I'd probably say kickball.
Think I ever played.
Oh, you don't remember that? Well, then that was another friend. I apologize.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah, it is.
it was what was our favorite part?
Do you remember the 90s, homie?
I do remember the 90s. I do remember
we didn't
playing
know each other in the
outside.
90s, so I guess we can't really. We didn't meet until like
we didn't.
2002, something like that. 2003.
Yeah, and our it's going to defeat the purpose of this episode, but our favorite thing was playing video games. So we're talking about the 90s and what we did as kids in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we playing outside, probably just having the freedom outside, probably the best part of it all.
And that was the thing. It was the freedom, because obviously the world has changed, I think, but it hasn't changed that much to where now there's more of a digital aspect to things where everyone's watching everything and all this stuff. And so like one thing happens on the other side of the world and your parents see it and it freaks you out. So you're like, nope, now let my kids do that thing. Versus when we were kids, that wasn't a thing. And people were more lackadaisical, I think. So they let kids do more because there wasn't the fear of everything out in the world.
Yeah. I do feel like it does play a factor. Also, just having access to social media and videos of things that are happening across the U.S. Back in the 90s, if you grabbed a newspaper from the East Coast, you would get the news for the West Coast. But other than that, you just knew what was happening in your city. You didn't know what else was going on because you didn't have access to all of these. Now, like, you go on social media and you see all these news reports, everything just. So I think it puts more of a fear in us. And I'm not saying that things haven't gotten worse, because of course, things are progressing in the wrong direction. There's a lot of stuff out there that I don't feel comfortable with my kids just being outside. So I think that plays a part in it. But I also think that it's because we have access to so much that we see more of the evil in the world, versus before we were kind of shielded. Our parents didn't really see it a whole lot. So I guess it was more about immediate community than anything else.
Yeah. If you're just joining this episode, or if you just listen to this, it does feel like we're right in the middle of it. We are talking about the thing that's trending right now. It's called a feral child summer. And what it is parents nowadays are letting their kids experience summer how we experienced it. They're letting their kids go out in the morning, ride bikes, do what they need to do. And as long as they're back home by dark, everything's good. I do remember that. I remember there was lots of times where we would be out doing stuff. I do feel like I was a little bit of a ringleader of our little group for a while, and I made us do some pretty dumb stuff sometimes. Like, walk home from the movie theater. Your dad almost killed us. That one, we did that a couple times, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Going finding, not that we drank as a child, because this is not, we didn't know. If you're a child, do not drink. If you're a child, you probably listen to this, but underage drinking is not okay. We would find some stuff in the desert, and we didn't drink it, but we spilled it on ourselves. We could throw bottles, break stuff. There's a loud car outside. Just doing dumb stuff. And I feel like kids need that, because we had phones, but they were like the dumb phones. We could call our parents. We didn't help, but like, other than that, our parents couldn't track us. They didn't know where we were. We just had freedom. And like I said, as long as the lights, when the lights came back on from outside, as long as we were in the house, we were okay. And everybody was fine and dandy. And it is a good thing. I am one of those parents, though. I do let my kids go outside and play. They have friends in the neighborhood. I know most of the parents in the neighborhood. But it's not like I'm going to let them go down the street to the park or like to the store by themselves like our parents. We'd be miles away from the house on our bikes and chilling. As long as we're back, it doesn't matter. We'd be going down. Do you remember this? Going down into sewer drains and like checking out the waterways in Vegas. And as long as our parents didn't know and we were back home, no one cares.
Nobody cares.
You need I think there needs to be a balance. But that is what is going and trending right now, is the feral child summer, that parents are going back to how we had it. So, but yeah, if you're just joining, welcome to Fatherhood Unscripted. I'm Alec, this is DJ. You should know us by now, hopefully. If you're new, welcome. This is what we talk
Welcome.
about. We talk about trending parenting stuff, dad stories. We do have a lot coming up here in the next couple months. So if you guys are just joining, strap in because we got a lot of really cool people coming up really soon. Actually, next week, we're going to have a new guest, and it's just going to keep going that way. And for the last, I think we're booked out for the next 2 months. So every episode of the next 2 months is going to be fun and crazy and exciting. But yeah, D, what do you think about this file? I keep wanting to say file child summer, feral
Fair.
child summer.
Yeah. You know, I think let them run buck wild. Let them run butt naked. No, I'm just kidding, not butt naked, but let them run wild. Like let them get the energy out. I feel like too much. So here's what I feel. Parents, you get frustrated with your kids. They're not listening. They're completely like the house is getting torn apart and you're just over it. I got the best tip for you. Get your kids outside doing fun stuff, exploring, let their creative minds take over. And I guarantee you, by the time you get back to your house, you'll have a much calmer house. See, because as kids, we're not meant to stay inside. We're not meant to just play video games all day. And there's nothing wrong with video games. Well, the right video games for the right ages. Because if kids are at 6 years old playing Grand Theft Auto, probably not good. But it, like, there has to be a balance to everything. But I think more so, and you can go back and listen to our episode. Oh, is it Jason with homesteading?
Yeah.
Is that his name? If you go back and listen
Jason,
to that
yeah, Seven Kin Homestead,
yeah,
yeah.
Seven Ken Homestead. So he talked about like when he got his kids out of the city life and they went to more of the country life and he let them explore, and it's like they lit up because as kids, that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to go and explore. And I feel like in the city, there's so much hustle and bustle that we forget about that aspect. And so I'm all for it. Like, you know, Jasmine jokes about our kids, like they're completely feral no matter where we go. Um, which, it's just like we don't try to control that side of them. We let them just explore it. And there's a time and a place. Like, if they're screaming in a store, we tell them to have inside voices. But if they're screaming outside and you're annoyed by that, come on. It's the outside. Like,
Right. You're
what do
like
you
inside
expect?
voice, but we're
I
outside,
don't hear
Dad.
you saying, I don't hear you saying, shut up, car that's driving by that's really loud. I don't hear you saying that.
I
We
literally
over
just
here.
said that. I mean, I hate loud cars. Sorry, I live on a major street and noise the crap out of me. But that's not. But DJ's right. Like, if your kids are outside and you're like inside voice, like, are you stupid?
Pretty sure we're not inside.
Yeah, let them scream. But I like. I think it's a cool idea. Like I said, like we let our kids go out, and our parents like, you don't know everybody in your neighborhood. You literally let me go miles away from the house,
Mm.
and you had no idea where I was at. I get it. Listen, I get it. There's a lot of freaky people, and the world is a messed up place. But I don't want my kids to be raised in fear and like, you can't do anything. Like they know not to talk to people, and they know if their friends go inside, they come up. Like they're not by themselves. It's like 10 kids. There's a big group of them. And so it's like they're not alone. There's always, if I'm not down there, one of the other dads or moms is down there. Like there's always a parent watching. They ride their bikes, do their thing, and they have fun. Micah comes up, nasty, dirty, black hands, dirt all over his face, crap in his hair. And that is what your kid needs to get dirty. And like DJ said, if they're inside, well, I'm bored, I don't have anything to do, send them freaking outside. And not a lot of people have backyards nowadays, because if you had a backyard, cool, just send them out in the backyard, let them freaking do stuff. I used to play in the backyard and build tracks for my Hot Wheels and have fights in the grass with my army men and like do all this stupid stuff. But like, let your kids go play outside, because that is something they need. And we just need to get back to maybe a hybrid version, kind of maybe something that's let them go crazy, let them go feral outside, let them just experience the outside, experience life, get hurt and get bumps and bruises and all that stuff. But at the same time, we put an air tag in their shoe. Track them suckers. No. But I mean, there needs to still be some kind of idea of where our kids are because the world is messed up nowadays. Anyways, so what are your thoughts? If you're listening to this, let us know down below. Like, we're not ending the podcast right now, but what are your thoughts on the feral child summer? Are you one to more of an iPad parent where, if your kids are bored, you're like, oh, here's the iPad, go do your thing? Or are you one to let them go play and experience life? Because your kids need to be bored. 100% your kids need to be bored because in boredom comes creativity. They're going to figure out something else to do. It's okay for your kids to be bored. It doesn't even be, oh, I'm bored. Okay, here's an iPad. Here's my phone. Here's this. I think the issue that we have in the world today is everybody is so stimulated all the time that when it's gone, people don't know how to sit still, or people don't know how to adjust because they need that quick 5 seconds of something happening in front of them all the time. And that's exactly what social media has done, to where, like, if you're watching this right now, that's 5 seconds of silence right there. Like, does that make you uncomfortable? Or are
Sure
you
does.
okay sitting in it? It does, right?
I
It's
do
supposed
not.
to, because that's what we've been trained. Our minds have adjusted to, we need something flashy, or we need something talking, or we need something happening in our front of our faces every 5 seconds. No one can sit still anymore. Look, DJ's sitting here bouncing because I've been talking for more than 2 minutes. Yeah, he's got ADHD too. That might be part of it. But like, no one takes the time just to sit in their own head anymore and think and just breathe, versus we constantly have to have something in front of us. And if that's what's happening to you, and I'm not saying it's your fault, because that's just how we've all been raised and grown up, and then the world we're in today. But if it's happening to you, more than likely it's bleeding onto your kids.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and so as parents, I mean, we're going to a different kind of topic now, but as parents, that's your job, is to kind of see that and see, okay, I'm overstimulated right now. As a parent, more than likely you know how to control that and you can fix it and change the overstimulation. Your kids most of the time don't. And especially if it's been raised with them and they've had the iPad in front of them the whole time, they don't know how to control a lot of that stuff, because a lot of times they're only getting what they're seeing from the iPad. Oh, your parenting job, your task this week is to shut the stupid screen off. Send your kids out to tours. Put them at a table with crayons and a piece of paper and make them draw something. Figure out something else to stimulate their kids other than an iPad or a screen in front of their face. Yeah.
Yep. And look, this is a call to your kids, but it's also a call to you. Somewhere down the line, I bet you've lost your drive to go explore.
Mm-hmm.
And as men and women, like that is innate in all of us to want to go explore, want to go see new things. And so, as much as we're saying, tell your kids to go outside, put the phone away, you go outside, you go play with them, you go explore and maybe create a whole world in your head. Do you remember, like, just when you would be bored and you'd have action figures or stuffed animals, or like I would have Hot Wheels? And it's crazy I'm saying this because my youngest son loves Hot Wheels. So, but I would just play with Hot Wheels, pretend like we're like in Fast and Furious driving through some random thing, and it was just I just created a whole world. And somewhere down the line, we lost that oomph to create, and we're stuck at a 9 to 5 job. We maybe we're at home, like Alec is a stay at home dad, where it's very easy just to sit and just be bored or be on the screen and not really doing anything productive, or like even at a job you can get so just go there, do your job, come home, be tired, maybe eat, go back to bed, do the same thing over and over again, and there's no real, yeah, I'm just saying, live your childhood again. Like like just get out there and do it with your kids. Some things on like how you can control like feral parenting, just screen free afternoons, right? Just like I was just saying, you and the kids go out to a park, no screens. Maybe you have a big backyard, go out to the backyard. Maybe if you're like me, I like to throw the football, kick a soccer ball, whatever, just go do something with your kids. and have a screen-free environment. Alec was even just saying this, what neighborhood play dates almost without constant supervision. So like there's a parent out there, but not hovering over the kids. And it's almost like it's Alec hasn't really created a play date per se, but the kids come over, they ask if Mike and Mia can play, and they go play.
And there is not to cut you off, but there is a fine line too. Like my kids came up there today, they were playing outside, and Micah goes, "Dad, you trust me?" I say, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "You trust me, right?" I said, "Yes, why?" He goes, "Oh, we're gonna go into," I'm not gonna say their names because we're gonna go to our friend's house. We're gonna go inside. No, you're not. But we know them, Dad. It's okay. I said, but I don't know them that well for you to be going in their house. Well, we're just gonna go in there for a little bit. We're gonna play. I'm like, no, you're not. But why? You trust us. I trust you. Yes. But you're not going in their house. Fine. And then go back downstairs. So there's that fine line, like DJ and Jazz. I've done DJ and Jazz our whole life. So his wife is my wife's sister. Me and DJ have known each other since we were like 10 years old. And the four of us, like, I send my kids over there for a while. Like this summer, they were there for a few days. Like, we know them. Like, I don't know my parents, my kids' friends' parents that well to be like, all right, no, I'm going to go trust my kids to be over there for a couple hours. I mean, that may come. But like, there's that fine line where go have fun, but at the same time, you know what that does show? And you know how I can trust my son? Because he came and asked. And I feel like that's a parent. I'm going to celebrate my little win right now. That's a parenting win because a lot of kids might not ask. They might just, and I might go downstairs and be like, where the heck are my kids?
Mm-hmm.
But my son knows that he has to ask. In my house, this is a off-topic thing again too. My kids know that if they lie to me, they'll be in trouble. Or no, they won't be in trouble. If they tell me, like if I find out, okay, I said this wrong. If something happens and I go, what happened? I know my kids are going to tell me the truth because they know if they get found out caught later, they're going to be in trouble. Even if they did something stupid, like say they broke something or like they tell me the truth because they know then I'm not going to get mad. We're going to figure it out. But if they lie and I find out later, then they're going to be in trouble, like big trouble. So I feel like I've won that joy. Anyways, back to your thought, D. Sorry for my little tangent, everybody.
No, it's really good. And like that is something to teach your kids, just those boundaries to ask before, like, don't just trust everybody. Now, I'll say this Alec and I, we find the good in everybody. And so we might overshare.
Yeah.
And like, as an adult, you realize I probably shouldn't have shared that. So teach your kids how to just ask before doing things, not so much like because you want to control every action because at the end of the day, like as much as you're like, oh, you're my buddy or whatever, you can't like you gotta be a parent who protects. And that's your ultimate job as a parent is to protect your kids. So having them ask is crucial. And just getting back to some activities that you guys can do, not only outdoor like adventures, but how about indoor adventures? Who remembers the times where your parents would create forts and you'd go into the fort and you'd be shielded from the monsters outside, or like you were just on this crazy adventure and it all happened in your front room? Like this whole world, the world of Warcraft. Maybe that was just me. Lord of the
Wow.
Rings. A little side note, I may have played World of Warcraft a little bit too much when I was a teenager, but that's neither here nor there, okay? We're not talking about me. We're not talking about my addictions. We're just talking about
Can we bring
you
LAN
guys and your
parties back?
parenting.
We're going to get into a whole video game thing, but me and DJ were gamers when we were younger. We need to bring LAN parties back. Me and DJ, there was a point where we lived together and we would set both of our Xboxes up in the front room on these little TVs and we'd play Destiny. And for hours,
Oh, good
like our
times.
wives wouldn't be there and we would just play Destiny for hours. Fun times. Like, let's bring back, like, I remember the Halo LAN parties or like, so our parents, we've known each other forever. There was a point where our parents were taking parenting classes at the church. And so that was like an hour or two. And so we had an N64 and we were doing GoldenEye and we were doing Turok. We were doing some other dumb stuff, pissing off my dad, but those were like, we need to have gaming parties again, stuff like that. I know it's online nowadays, people play Fortnite, but it's not the same when you're in the same room with like 4 or 5 other dudes and you're all going hard at the game. That's fun.
Yeah, I agree. Everything online just takes away the community aspect. And I don't get me wrong, like I feel like you can still find community online and it's come a long way, but there's just something about sitting next to your friend, sitting next to your best friend and just enjoying a video game together. Like you guys are fighting each other or you're working together or there's I honestly I've never found like a better feeling in video games than in those moments. Those are some of the best memories that we have. And I remember one time, oh, what was the game? There was a GameCube game. It wasn't just on the GameCube. And I can't remember the name of it. But I just remember going into somebody's house, talking about not asking my parents before going into somebody's house. I just went into somebody's house and they're like, yeah, let's go play on my GameCube. Look, Nintendo was where I was at. Actually, Nintendo still is where it's at. Like a lot of their stuff is still LAN
Mm-hmm.
driven. Like you need to play with each other in the same room. So Nintendo, good on you. If you want to sponsor us because we love being able to play with our kids.
Yeah, we have family game
Uh,
nights. We play our Switch. Switch 2s came out. Nintendo, hit
Nintendo,
us up.
come on, hook it up. If anybody is listening to this and you know somebody at Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
send us a private message because we're looking for more sponsors and more affiliates. There's more to come on this, but came we just had this final
Talk.
words. Talk, DJ, talk. We are now affiliates of a great company that's making a huge difference in the world of technology when it comes to kids and where parents don't want to be helicopter parents, but they just want to be aware of any dangers that may be coming towards their kids. And so we're really excited. We're going to be launching some videos here soon. They did send us some products to test out, and so we're really excited to be able to share that with you guys. And yeah, it's really cool. Alec and I talked about this recently, and this has been kind of all over the place. But our podcast we've been doing for 2 years, right? Almost, yeah, 2 years. Maybe two and a
2 years
half
now.
years
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
up.
a couple months. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple months. But it's really cool that like right now we're starting to see some of the fruit of doing it constantly. Some of the people that we've had on, if you were able to catch, this recording is coming a day after we did a live with Mitch Osmond, who is from Dad Nation, and it's cool because we get to have these guests on. And like, let me just tell you, Alec just texted Mitch. Mitch is going through some things. We won't go into all the details. He'll probably share that at a later time. But because of certain hiccups in social media and stuff like that, we wanted to help him out. And so Alex sent him a text, and he's just a text away and he's willing to come on our podcast. He even told us that he's willing to do it like again and again. We've built these kind of relationships that are super cool, dads that are making a huge impact in the world. So we couldn't be happier. I've gone on quite a bit of a tangent, so I'm going to pause myself.
It's all
But
good. I feel like this episode was good. I mean, if we've been a little bit all over the place. I do have a couple questions as we kind of end up. Uh, so going back to our topic, our feral child summers. What was the wildest thing you did when you were a kid? So we want to hear your crazy, funny stories. DJ and I did some stupid stuff when we were younger, and one of which we were drug mules at one point. But yeah, tell us your crazy stuff. Just let us know down in the comments. And then also, are you letting your kids do the same stuff today? Are you letting them get crazy, or are you? We won't say overprotective, but are you more of a protective parent? You kind of keep your kids on a leash a little bit. Um, Either way, let us know. Let us know in the comments. We have a couple things coming up, just with some cool stuff. So next month, September, we are launching into more of a entrepreneurial minded month. We have some really cool guests. If you are listeners, you guys want to get excited. We have Sean Finnegan coming back. Amazing man. He was really helped a lot with the launch of this podcast and getting people on this podcast. Bruce Cardenas of Quest and Legendary Protein Products is coming on. That's going to be an awesome one. Uh, Curtis, oh gosh, forgot his last name. Oh, Curtis. Well, Curtis is coming on next week. He'll be with us. So next episode, he'll be with us. I can't remember his last name. I'm so sorry. But he'll be with us. He's another entrepreneur guy. So we're just going into a big season of entrepreneurial guys. And we have October's gonna be another fun month. So we have some really cool guys coming on. So if you guys Morley, Curtis Morley, go check him out. So next week he'll be on. Then we'll have Bruce and we'll have Sean. So if you guys know anything about those guys, or if you guys want to know anything about entrepreneurship or building your own business or becoming an entrepreneurial dad, let us know. Leave some questions down below, so we can ask them on your behalf. And yeah, if you guys are not subscribed, if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening to your podcast, please leave a review, follow, download the episodes. It helps immensely. And then if you are watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you guys get all of our episodes, everything that comes out. We do love you guys. We do this for you guys. We do this so we help dads become better dads for their kids, for their wives. And yeah, so we will catch you guys in the next episode. We hope you guys enjoy this one. DJ, we will talk to you in the next one.
All right, guys. Peace.
Bye.